Welcome to the MLMsuccess.com podcast, the show designed to return the network marketing industry to its roots of personal growth, leadership development, and wisdom of the ages success principles. We share with you real success stories from real people that we hope will inspire and encourage you personally and help you progress forward in your business and your life. We believe if you build people, people will build the business. Now here is your host, who has been called the number one mind in network marketing, the MLM prophet, network marketing virtual mentor, and a host of other names that we will not mention because this is a family show. Frankly, he's just a small town guy that figured out that the real product in network marketing is people. Dale Calvert.
Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I'd like to welcome you to this session of the MLMsuccess.com podcast. It's a pleasure to have you with us. You know, truth is truth, wisdom is wisdom, and the challenge is to get those concepts from your head to your heart. Anthony Heflin is one of the kindest, most likable human beings on the planet. At one time in his network marketing career, he would probably tell you he was able to simply recruit people with his kindness. Those who have heard my training about the 6 personality types at the top of every network marketing company know what I am saying when I say Mr. or Miss Lovable, and that certainly describes Anthony Heflin. As a member of our team and was after several one-on-one conversations, I saw Anthony make a noted shift. He accepted that having people hang out around him because they liked him was not the way to build a productive team. And it took a while. And a lot of people have a real problem with that philosophy in general. But this is proof of what can happen when you really, really just, maybe go counterintuitive from your DNA and just work with the way it is and get focused on the way it is and have some conviction about what you're doing. And again, he's just such a great example. A great example. Those of you that have had the opportunity to meet him over the years know what I'm saying when I say this. For the rest of you and everybody else, I hope you enjoy this session entitled Going Through the Numbers Gives You the Power to Say Next by Mr. Anthony Heflin.
Good morning. Were those testimonies powerful or what? I wouldn't have Bill's job for nothing. I couldn't stand it. I mean, it's incredible what this product's doing. I mean, if that doesn't light your fire, your wood is wet. No question about it. Bill was talking about Stearns, Kentucky, where we're from. We're trying to put it on the map. Of course, it's not very hard. It's not very big. I'm going to talk to you this morning about what I feel like is one of the most important ingredients in building your dynamic business. It's all in the numbers. I feel like a lot of us are doing the right thing. I mean, we're making our follow-up calls. We're following up on our prospects. We're doing the right thing. But the missing link is we're not doing it with enough people. And I'll tell you what made me realize that. I was sitting in a training, and a gentleman named Dale Calvert was talking to us. Y'all probably heard him. He made a statement that I've heard him make 100 times, but it has to catch you at the right time. You're already aware of that. And the statement was, the last 10% of your effort will get you 90% of your results. And I thought, man, that's the missing ingredient. I've been beating myself up because, you got the Kenny Jeanettes and you got the people like that saying, with the huge checks, and I'm thinking, they're making twice as much as me. There's no way I could do twice what I'm doing. But when I realized that if I could just do 10% more, and get 90% more results, that's the key. That's your key. You've got to make it your key. You know, I'm going to run through this. Dale said you got 25 minutes. Now, and I said, is that real time or Kenny Jeanette time? And he just looked at me. I don't know what that meant. But the numbers is the key. It's the best attrition fighter I know. Y'all know there's attrition in this business. There's attrition in any business. Put the numbers through your business, the best attrition fighter that I know. Now, this morning I've got some good news for you, and I've got some bad news for you. Which one do you want to hear first? The bad news. Well, the bad news is blank. The bad news is it's not blank, it's there. The bad news is when you're new, you're bad. Isn't that great? A lot of people see it as bad news, though. I think it's wonderful. Wouldn't it be sad if when you got involved with it, you were good? But the good news is you can make up in numbers what you lack in skill. And you have to. You've got to make up in numbers what you lack in skill. But you know, there's some more great news. There's plenty of people out there to make up numbers on. Do y'all have any idea how many people haven't been talked to yet? We're just getting started. You know, a phrase that you hear us say a lot in this business is next. Y'all, well, a word, you've heard us say next, right? Some will, some won't, so what? That sounds pretty good from up here. Some will, some won't, so what? That's right. And the numbers will give you the power to say next. The lack of numbers will take that away from you. You see, a mistake I see some of us making is we talk to the same half a dozen people over and over again. Please, will you come to my meeting? You said you'd come last week, and the week before, and the week before that. Going through the numbers will give you the power to say next. You know, there's two ways to build your business. One is slow and difficult. And I guess the way I would define that is the people that you got to have everything in place before they get started. You know, I got to know all of this stuff before I talk to anybody. Y'all know anybody like that? You can't do that. This is a earn while you learn business. If you're not going through the numbers, you can't make the mistakes. You can't learn from other people's mistakes. That's got to happen for you to be successful. Bottom line, it's all in the numbers. Let me hear you say that one. That's the key. If I have to say it 100 times, it means so much to me because, to me, I just saw it as the missing link. I'm not talking to enough people. You know, the other way to build your business is fast and excited. What does that mean? That doesn't mean necessarily full time. That means unconscious, incompetent, ignorance on fire. I'm going to do this thing with what time I got. You've got to do that. You know, it don't matter if you work 12 hours a day. You've got to have an image in your head 24 hours a day. Got to have it. This is not a job. This is an opportunity. This is a business. Nobody punches the clock here. You don't go on duty and off duty. We got people wearing their buttons to bed. It's true. Well, it's not true. I'm kidding. But you see what I'm saying? I say that because I see part-time people saying, we don't have time. See, we didn't have time in the beginning. When Sheila and I got involved in this thing, we had just doubled the size of our store. Didn't have time. You know, we just signed the biggest lease of our lives. We just didn't have time. Thank the Lord, somebody had enough credibility with me, Dale Calvert and Kenny Jeanette, saying if you give this thing a little bit of consistent effort, it'll happen for you. If you give it a little consistent effort, it'll happen for you. And if you don't, it won't. That's the bottom line. You know, all out massive action will get you where you want to go. That's the key. How many of y'all have ever seen this? Stuff the funnel. Raise your hands up if you've seen stuff the funnel. I'm not talking about the phrase that the mechanic goes in and tells his boss on a Monday morning because he's disgusted with his job. I mean, the phrase that we use, talking about throwing people in the funnel. The some will, some won't, so what funnel. The right ones will pop out the bottom funnel. If we could only have one form to use, this is the form you need to be using. You need to fill up those lines every month. 40 exposures a month. There's 40 lines on this sheet. 40 exposures. That's 1 point. Well, it's over a person a day. That's right, I flunked math too. If you want to back it down a little bit and just go with 30 exposures a month, one a day to make it easy. 30. I try to keep things simple. If you put 30 new people in the funnel every month, you'll have more business going than you can keep track of. You know, in this business, we're constantly making lists. I got a phrase for you worth writing down. Making a list is your first step on the road to success. I got another phrase for you that's even scarier and equally as true. Not making a list is your first step on the road to failure. You can't build this business from your head. You've got to build it from paper. You've got to constantly be making a list. Make a local list. Make a long distance list. Make a product list. Make an opportunity list. Come up with different lists that you can make. Make a family list. And then don't call those people. You know. Until week 3, but anyway. No, as a matter of fact, I think Ron's considering a new rule that we're just all going to make lists of our families, and then we can't sponsor those people. We just trade them. Not really. You know, the mowers are a living example that that's not necessarily the case, but it is in my case. You know, and I say that because I see so many people's families talking about the business. And it's sad. I got to tell you another quick story. We went up to my family's house, my sister's house, Thanksgiving. And maybe some of y'all can relate to this. My sister said, are you still in that pill deal? Maybe some of y'all's family asked you that. And I said, yeah. And she said, how much money are you making? And you'd have thought E.F. Hutton was getting ready to speak. I mean, the whole family. It's unbelievable. And I saw it, you know. So I told them. And let me tell you what the response was. Yeah, but you have to pay taxes on that, don't you? So maybe that makes you see that your family's not different. It's true. But lists are so powerful and so gotta have it. I mean, the other tool, if we could only have one more tool, needs to be a memory jogger. Needs to be a prospect list. Because if you don't have a list to work from, you can't get anywhere. You know, if you're working from your head, you're talking to somebody, and you got some Mr. High credibility that you're going to talk to, or a relative that you got all this faith in and all this stuff. and he turns you down, and that's what you've been thinking about for 2 or 3 days, your day is blown. Maybe your whole week, maybe your business. Sad. But if you've got a list, you draw a line through that sucker and you say next. Provided, of course, he wouldn't give you any referrals. You know. The list is the key. The list is what makes us what we are. Y'all heard that amateurs convince. I found that trap door. Amateurs convince, professionals sort. Y'all heard that? Yeah. Which one are you? Oh, D's a pro. Which one are the rest of you guys? Professionals, right? A list will make you a professional. Don't help you do this any, though. My thumb's faster than... Anyway, let's back up one. I'm sorry. Remember that a short pencil is better than a long memory. Some of us try to keep our business in our head. You can't do that. You got to write it down. You need to be taking notes here. You need to be taking notes when you go to your weekly meetings. You've got to constantly be taking notes. Constantly be making lists. I'll tell you something that I did. One of the best tools that I've ever purchased was a little handheld tape recorder. You know, when you're in your car, that's usually when I think of my best people, in the car or in the shower. That's another story, but a handheld tape recorder is a whole lot safer than trying to write something down. You see, that funnel had 40 lines on it, and all we're looking for is numbers to fill a slot, or names to fill in the slot. That's all we're looking for. We understand that some will and some won't, and we don't ever prejudge, because we understand that it's not you, it's who you know that I'm looking for. It's your sphere of influence that I'm looking for. And once you understand that, it just takes a lot of pressure off. I see a lot of us working hard. We've got our nose to the grindstone. We think we're building this thing. Numbers will give you a freedom. It's just like taking the pressure off. You understand, I don't care if you get involved in my business or not. I've got 50 more people I need to talk to anyway. I don't have time to fool with you unless you're serious. You've got to get that attitude about your business. A thought for you is to get involved in a contest. That's something that we do. Do it a lot. You know, contests work. You know, the company has contests. We have contests to help build our local meeting. Contests are great because, you know, I think of, for example, you've all had, say, a vacuum cleaner salesman come over your house or call you up and say, I want to demonstrate my vacuum cleaner. And you say, I don't need a vacuum cleaner. I've already got 5. And the vacuum cleaner says, no, all I want is for you to let me demonstrate my vacuum cleaner. And then, if you give me 5 referrals, I get to go to Disney World. So you let them come over, right? And then they get in there on your mattress, and they got this white thing in the filter, and you see how dirty your mattress really is. Is there any vacuum cleaner salesman in here? Sure there is. And any of y'all have had it demonstrated in your house understand what I'm talking about. They show you the need for that product, and then you got to have one. So now you got 6. But the reason they came to your house is they said, you don't have to buy nothing, you don't have to sign nothing. All I want you to do is let me do the demonstration. It works. What do you say to people? You say, would you do me a favor? I'm involved in a contest. People are willing to help you out if you're involved in a contest, right? Hopefully. You know, if you say to somebody, would you do me a favor? And they say, absolutely not. You need to go ahead and scratch that person. And say next, beforehand, would you do me a favor? I'm involved in a contest. Would you take a look at a videotape? In the privacy of your own home, take a look at my video. People will do that for you. I don't want you to buy nothing. I don't want you to sign nothing. I just want you to hear my story. And if the videotape don't get them, you don't want them. That's the bottom line. You got to use our videotape. I guess a catchphrase here is say less to more people. The videotape takes all the talking that you need to do out of our program. You don't need to say much. Y'all notice that when somebody's new and all they know is to hand out a videotape, how much better they do than the guy that's been in for a while and he knows all this stuff? Does that make your wheels turn just a little bit? Another tool that's equally as important is the videotape recruiting audio. You've got to listen to that. That takes our videotape from a movie to a tool. That shows you how to follow up, shows you how to get referrals. You got to have the videotape recruiting audio. It's just a must-have. Then use your opportunity meeting. Are you open for more information? You've seen my videotape. Looks pretty good. Looks interesting. Are you open for more information? What do we say next? Well, what are you doing Monday night? Then get them to your opportunity meeting. Right? That's right. Another piece of advice I can give you is don't let your knowledge talk you out of our program. I see so many people doing that. The more they know, the more they have to tell everybody. Big mistake. You know, I've done some three-ways with Kenny, and it amazes me. I guess if anybody has taught me as much as anybody on how to say less to more people, it amazes me. We do these three ways, and these people ask these questions, and Kenny's response is, what difference does it make? And I'm thinking, Kenny, some of y'all need to do that. Don't answer all their questions. Stuff in the funnel will get you on track. And you have to get on track. You know, some of us are just not saying enough or not saying a little to enough people. You want to be on track, right? You stuff the funnel, it'll get you on track and you win. What are you here to do? You're going to win. That's why we're here. We're here to get this product out there so the people that can come across this stage and you can say, yes, it took me a video, it took me a contest or whatever it took to get the product in the hands of somebody that's life could be changed. It's amazing what this product will do for you if you just get it out there in the marketplace. And you have to do that. Don't let Joe that you've been talking to for 6 months keep you from sharing the product with somebody that wants it. They're out there looking for you. And you're too concerned with Joe for them to be able to find you. Does that ring a bell with anybody? Yeah. It does with me. It's all numbers. That's the bottom line. That's why I came here today to share with you what a lot of you are probably thinking, well, I've heard all that before. It ain't that easy. Well, it is. You don't have to know much. Let the tools do the talking. Let the tools do the talking to more people. Just share it. The ones that want it are looking for you. My advice in helping you build your business, I guess if I were going to condense it, would be to borrow from Richard Nyhart a little bit. If it's easy, do it easy. If it's hard, do it hard. Just get it done. Just get it done. $1997 is going to be an unbelievable year. I challenge you to make 1997 your year, because I'm going to make it mine. I appreciate y'all listening to this morning.
I hope you enjoyed this session by Anthony Heflin. I thought it was just full of wisdom. Anthony saying when you're new, you're bad. When you're new to this profession, you're bad. That was true in 1997 when this was first recorded, and it's true today. If you're doing the right things but not with enough of the right people, you're going to struggle creating any momentum in your business. What a statement. What a statement. And then I always have loved, we give credit to Dr. Dan Moore for this, and Anthony gave me credit, but it was actually Dan where I first heard it. And Dan proved it to me, watching him work, that the last 10% of your efforts will give you 90% of your results. When you really stop and think about that, and what if it is true? And then, of course, he talks about memory jogger as well. I just thought it was a phenomenal training. I hope you did as well. You can, if you go to MLMhelp.com/complete memory jogger, you will find the best memory jogger in over 10, 12, 15 hours of free training just on launching your business. 1,000% free for you. For listeners of this podcast, it's really the only time we're really making this public at the moment. That's our plans, and we are making it free. So we'd appreciate your feedback over there. The URL again is MLMhelp.com/complete memory jogger training, which will go hand in hand with what you've just heard, the awesome training that you just heard from Anthony Heflin. This is Dale Calvert. Thank you for listening. We appreciate your feedback as always, and we'll talk to you next week on another session of the MLMsuccess.com podcast.
If you haven't gone over to iTunes yet and rated and left this podcast a review, what are you waiting for? At Calvert Marketing Group, we want to spend our time on the projects that we know are providing the most value for our clients and customers. You leaving us a review and feedback on iTunes is something that helps us more than you realize. And more importantly, it helps others like you find us. So if you've not taken the time to rate this podcast, please go over to iTunes and do that for us now. It will only take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we will be back next week with another inspiring success story, wisdom of the ages training, or answers to your questions.